Well, there's a very interesting AI tool from Google called MusicFX DJ. So essentially, you can use this tool to create a real-time music. This is, of course, very useful for DJ because they can select the genre or instrument of the music and they can play it in real time. They can adjust various settings to get the one that sounds great, and maybe they can use it on a live performance or perhaps just getting some inspiration for their next project. But regardless, this tool is available for the public, at least right now if you're in the USA, and you have to use a VPN service if you are not in the USA. That's what I didn't like from some experimental tools from Google. A lot of times you have to be in the USA, but fortunately you can use a VPN service to access this job. And by the way, the link is going to be available in the description down below. Now, in this video, I'm going to show you how you can actually use this tool to generate some remixing music. And just as a disclaimer, I'm not a DJ, I'm not a musician, so this is just a general overview on how you can use it, and I'll only talk about the basic features of this tool, and later I will show you how you can actually download the music that you just created with MusicFX DJ. Now here, I guess I'm going to just refresh the page because this setting is actually going to be random every single time, and you can actually delete that. So I'll just delete everything because I want to start my own music. So let's say I want to get some lo-fi music, so I'm going to add it, and you can actually play the audio right away. I'm going to click this. Okay, so it is now running in real time, and I can add other instruments into this piece of music. Let's say I want to add some soft guitar, and you'll see that there's going to be actually the audio of guitar. It's very soft, it's almost not noticeable, but it is definitely there. You can actually see that by the representation of the color. So if there is that color that is representing the music or the genre, then it's good. It means that it is now in the music. Now let's add another one. I want to add some saxophone. Let's add that one. And by the way, you can also get some inspiration from this area, these options. They are great to give you some recommendation that you probably interested to put into your piece of music. Now, there is also another setting that you can play around, which is I would say how dominant the instrument or the genre really is. So for example, I want to make the guitar to be more dominant, so I'm going to increase it, and it is going to be louder, it is going to be more pronounced in the music. But you have to wait a bit more because AI is trying to make the transition transition from the first setting to the next setting to be as smooth as possible, so it's going to sound really great. And I think now I can hear some audio guitar strings. Yeah, it's definitely there. So yeah, if you're quite happy, I think you can actually start downloading this piece of music. But before that, I think I want to show you a few things that you can play around with this tool. Now here at the bottom, there are plenty of buttons that you can play around, and I think at this point, this is only mostly relevant if you are a DJ or a music expert, because there are many settings that honestly I don't really understand, but still they can be very useful. So first of all, there is a density, and this is basically controls how sparse how full the music is going to sound. So usually it's not something that I want to play around because again, I'm not an expert, and I think it's better to just use the auto mode. Now the next setting that you can play around is the brightness. This is going to adjust whether the music sounds going to be bright or upbeat or perhaps dark or kind of moody, so it kind of making the tone or the feeling of the music. And after that, you can play around with the chaos. So this is actually quite similar to the temperature control in large language model, where you can select how creative AI must be when creating the content. So there is the auto mode, there is also the low, which is basically not very creative, it's just following your instruction or your settings. And then there's also the high mode, where AI is going to be more creative at adding more elements into the music. And also here on the right side, there is the drums, bass, and other, but this is really just managing or changing the volume or emphasis of each audio elements. And honestly, from my experiment, it's not quite as noticeable as the other settings. And after after that, there is also the BPM. This is for adjusting the tempo, and also the key. But this is, I think, mostly for some professionals. I'm not familiar with the keys and music, and I'm not going to be touching that. So I think for most people, you should be fine just controlling the genre or perhaps the instruments of the music, and maybe some settings around here, but that's not really necessary. And I think you can create a great piece of music by utilizing this AI tool. Now, what if you are quite happy with the result and you want to download this content to your computer, to your device? Is it possible? Well, yeah, the answer is yes, you can do that. So what you need to do to download the music to your computer is by clicking this share button. And remember, you can only download the last 60 seconds of the audio. Now the the URL has been copied, and you can also just open the link on new tab. And after that, you can click the download button, and it will be rendered and will be saved to your computer. And the format of the audio is the .wav, and it is actually a high quality format, so it's going to be crisp, it's going to be really great. It's high quality audio. So I think this tool is not pulling its punches, it's giving you the best quality version. So I really appreciate we have this tool available for free, and perhaps the only issue is it is only available in the USA. But I'm hoping that in the near future, we can use this tool without using VPN, and this is going to be available for everyone. So that's essentially how you can use MusicFX DJ from Google to generate a remixing music for free, and how you can download it to your computer. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on my next video. Have a great day.